Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game, we've got Segaby playing the Tier 8 Premium U.S. Battleship Massachusetts. Matchmaking appears to be pretty great. There is a CV in the game, but it's a Tier 8 CV. The Parsival is what he'll need to be contending with. And there's a fair amount of Tier 6 in this match, which of course makes Segaby the top tier ship in the game with the tier 8 ship. There's a lot of really what I would call juicy targets on the enemy team. New Mexico, of course, while it has pretty decent guns, moves very slowly. It's a really big target. That's kind of a Citadel magnet, and to a lesser extent, I think the same is true of the Queen Elizabeth. Helena, that's just well, that's just waiting to be shredded by a Tier 8 battleship. Now, make no mistake, I think Helena is a lot of fun to play. And when it first came out, the game was quite different when it first came out. And I have to admit, I played it a considerable amount when it first came out because it has a lot of guns, and it just it can make short work of destroyers at close range. But in the current meta with aircraft in, I would say, more games than there are not aircraft, it's really tough because you're spotted a lot of the time, and Helena does not have, well, it has armor, but it's about as effective as tissue paper against battleship shells. And of course, that's going to be target 1. Destroyer threats, Akazuki, of course, fantastic guns, but also very hard-hitting torpedoes. Ognavoy, decent guns, decent torpedoes. I wouldn't call them great, but they're decent. And Shiratsuyu, which is a hard-hitting torpedo package that can be running torpedo reload rather than smoke. So it remains to be seen which is the case in this game, but it can put out a lot of torpedoes in a very short period of time. Look like a little bit high, but we'll see. Oh, 8,600. Nice shot. Looked like he turned out and just ran right under those shells. That worked out well. So it looks like the bad guys have got a destroyer in the Alpha Cap early. Good guys have Z-36 and Gajimata pushing into the Charlie Cap now. It's going to get a little behind. Now, Massachusetts is a legitimate secondary threat if something gets close. You can see the secondaries, well, they're effective out to 11.3 kilometers. So this is obviously spec'd for that. And if you're unfamiliar, if you look at the minimap, there's a solid red line, large circle that goes around the Massachusetts on the minimap. That's the main gun range. And then the dash red line, there's just a bunch of dashes that runs in a circle. That's the secondary range. They gonna be able to secure the cap before those shells get here? Yes. And then the dash, we call it teal or light blue line, is the range of the anti-aircraft guns. So it looks to me like you've got a couple of battleships that are pushing into 2 destroyers here. And as long as our hero is here in the Massachusetts, they're probably not going to want to show a whole lot of broadside. Now, Aoba is, well, he's doing exactly what I just said they would not want to do. He's showing a lot of broadside. So it is possible he'll get blapped. Looks like he might be trying to stop. Not very effectively. Looks like he's decided to accelerate after all. Turned out. So not much came of that. And our hero is now in a serious crossfire. He's got a battleship on this side that you can see on the port side, along with Aoba and the threat of torpedoes from the Aoba. Well, that's probably going to hurt. Dead ahead, he's got a Bismarck. Yeah, that definitely hurt. Almost 25,000 damage. Nice shot. And Helena on the other side does get a fire started with secondaries. I think he's going to be able to get a shot on Aoba. Finishes off the Helena with secondaries. I think he's going to get a shot off here on Aoba, and at this range, this should be devastating.
The ship is on fire.
Yeah, well, should be, and actually are very often different things. And in this case, we ended up with 5 overbends. I'm sure Segaby was very disappointed by that. Bismarck secondaries are doing their job. Segaby takes a significant amount of damage there, but pays it back and then some. And now beginning to heal. That torpedo's coming in from behind. Those are the Aoba torpedoes. Aoba goes down to the Z-23. Nice damage. Flatten out this angle. He's going to get another shot here at point blank range. That's pretty decent damage. I think Segaby got the better of this exchange so far, and he's about to get another close range shot. Aimed a little higher there. That does the trick. And Segaby's still with 9,598 hit points. You can see the AA going to work. Caracciolo is still hiding over there behind the island. He's been kind of pinned down by the combination of the Gajimata and the Z-23. Good guys did manage to secure the Charlie cap. They actually secured the Alpha cap as well, but the red Akazuki's in there now, keeping the good guys from accumulating any points in there. Right now, the good guys have a 10 ship to 9 ship advantage, and it looks like Segaby's trying to get a shot to finish off this Caracciolo, and at this range with these guns, I think he probably will. Yeah, nice shot. Citadel to finish off the Caracciolo, and now it looks like he's going to turn around and head toward Bravo. Hopefully, with the Gajimata out ahead of him, spotting for torpedoes, because the bad guys still have the Akazuki that you can see there, but also have the Ognovoy and the Shiratsuka. So, significant torpedo threat is likely going to be meeting our hero as he approaches that cap over there. And the CV apparently is aware that Segaby is really banged up, and at this point no more heals, so the 13,517 hit points that Segaby currently has is all he's going to have. Lexington finishes off the Shiratsuyu, and now the good guys are down 4 ships, bad guys are down 5 ships. Still anybody's game. Bad guys have managed to secure the Alpha cap, so that gives them a 2 cap to 1 advantage. Still got over 11 minutes to go. Just purely on the back of the fact that the bad guys have 2 caps gives them an advantage, at least in the short term, if all else remains the same. Nice shot. Picked up a little chip damage. And you can see the Ognovoy is pushing in on the Lexington. And he might very well finish the Lexington. Lexington looks like he's sailing in a straight line. I imagine the Ognovoy torps are on the way already. there they are. Did he miss with the torpedoes? Kind of hard to believe, but looks like he did. Yeah, that second volley's going to do some damage. Nope. Wow. Yeah, that Ognavoy, he seriously botched that. Lexington's liable to finish him with secondaries. Lexington has secondaries, right? Now, Ognavoy does take out the Lexi. Gets off another set of torpedoes. Lexi tries to pay him back for that by finishing him off with rockets, and he may actually do it before these shells get there. Nope. Segaby finishes him off. So Lexington is avenged. Nice shot. Now, if you're keeping score, that is 4 ships sunk for our hero at this point. 129,000 damage, 41 shells on target, 156 secondary hits, 6 fires, 2 citadels, 9 aircraft shot down. Not a bad showing at all. Got Gajimata in the Bravo cap now. That's depriving of the bad guys of those points. And Segaby takes another shot. He's down to 2,090 hit points. Make that 780 hit points. Picks up another 10,000 damage there. Yeah, I think you did too, Segaby. Now the good guys have, now they've got the 2 cap to 1 advantage. Is that New Mexico going to show flat broadside? And if so, can Segaby get these shells lobbed over that island? Now if he fires here, even though North Carolina just fired, it's almost certain North Carolina is going to target him. CV is, at least to my mind, strangely targeting the Gajimata rather than Segaby, which is a good thing, but if you see a battleship with 780 hit points, you got to target it no matter what you're playing. Yeah, here comes some shells from North Carolina. This might be enough. Oh! North Carolina fires over, but the Queen Elizabeth finishes off Segaby. So, 147,263 damage, 4 ships sunk, 53 shells on target, helped secure a cap, 156 secondary hits, 6 fires, 2 citadels, 10 aircraft shot down. I'd say that's a pretty strong game by pretty much anybody's definition. Now it's just a question of, can the good guys hold on to win? They are down 150 points, more or less. They do have a 2 cap to 1 cap advantage. The enemy New Mexico and the enemy Z-23 are both really banged up. But, excuse me, the enemy Graf Spee and enemy New Mexico. It's the friendly Z-23 that's really banged up, so he's going to have to try and stay out of sight as much as possible. Now I say that, but you can see his smoke over there on the right side of the screen. He was trying to get to the CV, I'm sure. But he's got a Queen Elizabeth pushing right at him, and aircraft overhead. And, if you are unfamiliar, German destroyer smoke does not last very long at all. So, probably his smoke's going to run out here before he can get his torpedoes back up. Keep an eye out here and look at those circles. He's trying to do what damage he can to the Parsifal. Those guns hit pretty hard, but Parsifal goes dark and will escape for the time being. So he's probably going to, Z-23 is going to shift his fire to the Queen Elizabeth, and he's got torpedoes up. That's probably going to do it for the Queen Elizabeth. So, and the Parsifal's back up, so he's got guns up on the CV and torpedoes on the Queen Elizabeth, and I think he's going to get 2 here, and that's going to be enough. Oh, so close. Parsifal does go down to the guns, and Z-23's torpedo strikes make it possible for Andrea Doria to finish off the Queen Elizabeth. And that gives the good guys a 5 ships to 4 ships advantage and a 120 point advantage. Combine that with the fact they've got a 2 caps to 1 edge, and this game is looking pretty good for the good guys. And New Mexico is liable to... Oh, wow. Why did New Mexico fire that? Well, I guess because he counted on his secondaries. Now, New Mexico is liable to go down here to torpedoes. I think we got at least 1 that's going to hit, maybe 2. So close. And you can see New Mexico's already healing. But I don't think he's long for this world. Meanwhile, the bad guys have clawed their way back, and they've still got 4 ships. Good guys only have 3. And the good guys are going to be, of course, trying to knock this New Mexico out of the game. But Dallas is running broadside to North Carolina, and yeah, we knew that wasn't going to end well. New Mexico is angled up very well here. You know, this was the good guys' game to win, and I'm afraid, looking at their positioning right now, that they don't have much of a chance of winning. And I say that because the bad guys still have the Akazuki, and if he hasn't already, he's going to be heading for the Bravo cap to secure that. And you know, those North Carolina guns are just devastating.
Our victory is in sight.
3 minutes, 35 seconds remain. Good guys do have a, well, roughly 40-point lead at this point. But the fact that the bad guys have a North Carolina and a destroyer, I really have to give the edge to the bad guys. I guess we'll see. So we've got this Andrea Doria that's making a run for it, and the other Andrea Doria that's going to try and protect the Bravo cap. Now, if both of them had gone for the cap, well, you know, maybe if they spotted the DD, maybe between the 2 of them they could sink it. This Andrea Doria's got shots off on the Graf Spee. If they sink him, then this looks a lot better. But it's a pretty sure bet that, even though we can't see him yet, there are probably torpedoes on the way. And if nothing else, as the Graf Spee gets closer, he's got torpedoes. You know, one thing I didn't mention there, Segaby, you can see on the upper right hand corner, 2.153 million potential damage. There's the Akazuki. We know those torpedoes are coming. There they are. Looks like at least 1 is going to hit. Right on the nose, so that's a flood almost certainly. If he repairs, he's got another... Yeah, Graf Spee is angled for torpedo drops, so those torpedoes are probably in the water already. Andrea Doria does finish off the Graf Spee. Andrea Doria is flooding. Is he flooding or burning? Either way, is he going to be able to dodge that? Boy, this is really close. Yeah, I think that other Andrea Doria hanging so far back really cost him, because if he were closer, I'm sure he could have gotten guns on the Sakazuki, and that would have been it for him. But Milo Minderbender is, he's up here basically fighting by himself. Oh, so close. Lord of War gets a long-range shot. All he's got to do is land 1. Oh! Well, so much for that. He did land 1, but the Akazuki still with 61 hit points, and he is just trying his best to burn the Andrea Doria down. If he finishes the Andrea Doria, it keeps the bad guys. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.